After a washout on Monday, look at all of this good rain across a largely populated area of eastern Nebraska. You can see those totals definitely drop off the further west you go from central Nebraska into the panhandle. And unfortunately, these are still some areas that could really use some rain in northwestern Nebraska. But some blues on this map indicating half an inch, if not higher. Then you get into the yellows, that's an inch. And then even some of those oranges working our way up toward an inch and a half, like you see toward Grand Island, even around Hebron. But in Lincoln, we almost received 1.75 inches yesterday. That was enough to shatter the daily record of rainfall that was previously from 1948, just 0.6 of an inch, almost 0.7 even. But we shattered that by over an inch yesterday. And looking at this year as a whole, that was the second highest rainfall total we'd seen in a day since the memorable July 1st, when we saw a little bit of flooding since we got over 4 inches that one day. But yeah, as you look further throughout this year, that was enough to slide into the number 2 spot for 2024. Now we are going to work ourselves into a drier pattern in the coming days. You can see we're drying out, still some wet spots on the streets as we're waking up, and the first signs of a little daylight in the background as we wake up to our ABC Seamless camera with a little more traffic is starting to pick up. Temperatures range by a lot across the state right now. We've got 20s in the panhandle, 30s in central Nebraska, and then 40s here at home. Right around 45 degrees here in the capital city, still around 47 degrees up in Omaha, but strong winds we're also waking up to, especially in northeast Nebraska right now. Sustained winds out of the west and northwest around 25 to almost 30 miles per hour. Winds aren't all that bad here in Lincoln, around 12 miles per hour, but certainly gusts high and almost approaching 45 miles per hour in O'Neill. We'll start to see a little stronger wind gusts, I think, through the mid-morning hours, closer about 9-10 o'clock here in Lincoln. But the clouds have been clearing as that system continues to move to the north and east that brought us rain yesterday. I did want to point out with these lines, don't always show you these, but these are the constant lines of pressure. And when you see a lot of them over short distances, that's when we get some stronger winds. So this system from yesterday still has a strong grasp on us here in the coming days that will produce a lot of wind across Nebraska. We'll see some increase in cloud cover in southern Nebraska. The second half of the day today still sticks around into this evening before clearing tonight, but still those lines and a lot of them over short distances going to drive a lot of high winds up through the upper Midwest, and even some snow closer to the center of that up north. That maybe we see a few flurries closer to the South Dakota border, but we should be dry in the days to come. Here's a look at wind gusts in the coming hours. Again, I mentioned later this morning, I think we'll see some stronger wind gusts around 30 to 35 miles per hour, and then those will gradually back off as we work our way into the evening. But more cloud cover by the second half of the day today will keep us cooler with those northwest winds, with a high right around 53 degrees for us here in Lincoln. Look at the coming days. We continue to cool with those northwesterly winds, strongest on Wednesday, peaking around 40 to 45 miles per hour here at home. But the coldest temperatures are going to be felt on Thursday as we only top out around 43 degrees.